What if I told you that right now, tucked away in your kitchen pantry or sitting in your refrigerator, there are 4 healthy foods that are quietly sabotaging your health? What if the very things you've been told to eat to save your heart are actually the ones poisoning your arteries and slowing down your circulation? I am Dr. Victor Halston, and I have spent over 20 years practicing medicine. In my office every single week, I see wonderful people who are doing everything right. They walk, they avoid the obvious junk food, and they follow the standard advice they've heard for decades. Yet, they come to me with cold feet, heavy legs, and lab results showing that their arteries are becoming as stiff and narrow as a kinked garden hose. Just last month, I sat down with a patient named Mrs. Harrison, a 68-year-old retired teacher who takes her health very seriously. She told me, "Dr. Halston, I eat salads every day. I've swapped butter for vegetable oils, and I only buy canned vegetables to make sure I get my nutrients. So why do my legs feel so heavy? Why is my balance starting to fail me?" When we looked at her diet, we found the culprit. It wasn't that she wasn't trying, it was that she was a victim of the healthy food illusion. You see, after the age of 60 or 65, the rules of the game change completely. Your body doesn't respond to certain foods the same way it did when you were 30. Your kidneys and your heart are like a veteran car engine. They still have plenty of miles left in them, but they need high-quality fuel, not the low-quality imitations that are marketed to us as healthy. Today, I'm going to unmask these 4 silent killers. We are going to talk about the wolves in sheep's clothing that are sitting in your kitchen right now. For each one, I'll explain exactly what it's doing to your blood vessels, why most doctors never mention it, and I'll give you one simple daily habit to protect your independence and keep your legs moving freely. This matters because falling is the #1 cause of fatal injury in adults over 65. And a lot of those falls start years earlier with poor circulation and nerve damage caused by the very foods we are about to discuss. Before we dive into the first poison, I want to ask you something directly. If you've been feeling more tired than usual, or if your balance isn't what it used to be, go to the comment section right now and type the word stronger. It lets me know you're ready to take control and that you're staying proactive about your health. Now let's look at the first golden trap sitting in your kitchen, the one that's likely fanning the flames of inflammation in your body as we speak. I'm talking about corn oil and refined seed oils. Now I know what you're thinking. But Dr. Halston, for 40 years, my doctor told me to switch from butter to these vegetable oils because they were heart healthy. I understand. That was the standard advice for a long time. These oils, corn, soybean, cottonseed, and vegetable blends, were marketed as the golden solution to cholesterol. But for the senior body, there is a hidden danger that the marketing labels never mention. The problem lies in something called the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. Think of your body's inflammatory system like a fireplace. Omega-3 fatty acids, the kind you find in fatty fish or walnuts, act like a cooling mist. They keep the fire under control. Omega-6 fatty acids, which are incredibly high in corn and seed oils, act like dry kindling. When you consume a little bit, it's fine. Your body needs some. But the average American diet is now so flooded with these oils that we are essentially pouring buckets of gasoline onto a fire every single day. For a person over 65, this flame of inflammation doesn't just cause a little joint pain. It goes straight to your arteries. Imagine your blood vessels are like a brand new garden hose. When they are healthy, they are wide, flexible, and soft. Blood rushes through easily to reach the furthest parts of the garden, which are your feet and your toes. But when you live with chronic, high-level inflammation from these seed oils, it's like leaving that hose out in the sun for years. It becomes brittle. It becomes stiff. The opening narrows. When your arteries lose their bounce and become stiff, your heart has to pump twice as hard to get blood down to your legs. This is why so many of my patients tell me their legs feel like lead weights by late afternoon. It's not just getting older, it's that your pipes are losing their flexibility because of the oil you're using to cook your eggs. Research shows that this chronic inflammation is a silent process. You don't feel it happening today, but over months and years, it leads to the very circulation problems that cause balance issues and falls. I want you to do a pantry audit tonight. Look at your cooking oils. If the label says corn oil, soybean oil, or just vegetable oil, I want you to consider making a change. Instead, reach for extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. These are rich in monounsaturated fats that actually help cool the inflammation instead of fanning it. If you're willing to check your pantry tonight and make this one small swap for your heart, type "I'm in the comments. I want to see who is taking this first step with me. Now, let's move to the second poison hiding in your kitchen. This one is particularly tricky because it's something most of us reach for when we are trying to be good. We think we are making a healthy choice for our heart and our kidneys. I'm talking about canned tomatoes and canned vegetables. I see this every day in my clinic. A patient will say, "Dr. Halston, I've stopped eating fast food. I'm making my own stews and pasta sauces at home using canned vegetables. Isn't that better?" And the answer is, it should be. But the way these foods are packaged creates a two-pronged attack on your arteries that most people never see coming. The first part of the attack is something called BPA. You see, tomatoes are highly acidic. When they sit in a metal can for months or even years, that acid begins to react with the lining of the can. This causes a chemical called bisphenol A, or BPA, to leach directly into your food. For a younger person, the body might handle this toxic load a bit better, but for those of us over 60, our detoxification filters, our liver and kidneys, aren't as fast as they used to be. Research has linked BPA to increased internal inflammation and a disruption of your hormonal balance, which is exactly what we want to avoid if we want to keep our arteries flexible. But there is an even bigger silent thief inside that can, hidden sodium. The food industry adds massive amounts of salt to canned goods, not just for taste, but as a preservative to make them last on the shelf. You might not even taste the salt because of the acidity of the vegetables, but it is there. I've had patients tell me, "But Dr. Halston, I hardly ever use the salt shaker." And I tell them, the salt shaker isn't the problem. It's the 75% of sodium that is already hidden in the packages you buy. When you consume this hidden salt, your body begins to retain fluid to dilute it. This increases the total volume of blood in your system, which causes your blood pressure to skyrocket. I want you to use this analogy: the fireman's hose versus the silk cloth. The inner lining of your arteries is as delicate and smooth as a piece of fine silk. Your blood should flow over it gently. But when your blood pressure rises from hidden sodium, it's like taking a high-pressure fireman's hose and aiming it at that silk cloth. Over time, that pressure shreds the lining. It creates tiny scars. And guess what happens next? Your body tries to patch those scars with cholesterol and calcium, which makes the artery narrow and stiff. This is why hypertension is the silent partner in kidney failure and heart disease. I want you to become a label detective. Tonight, when you go into your kitchen, turn those cans around. If you see more than 200 milligrams of sodium per serving, it's too high for a heart-healthy diet. Your goal should be to stay under 1,500 milligrams to 2,300 milligrams for the entire day. But here's a doctor's secret that can save you. If you already have canned vegetables in your pantry and you don't want to waste them, rinse them. Open the can, put the veggies in a strainer, and run cold water over them for 60 seconds. This simple act can remove up to 40% of the added sodium. Better yet, whenever possible, choose fresh or frozen vegetables. They don't have the BPA risk, and they aren't swimming in a salt bath. If you're ready to protect the silk of your arteries and start checking those labels, type "Label Watcher" in the comments. Now we come to the third poison, and this one usually gets the biggest reaction when I mention it to my patients. It's sitting in almost every refrigerator in America. People call it a health food, and they feel a sense of pride when they put a giant mound of it on their plate. I'm talking about iceberg lettuce. Now, you might be thinking, Dr. Halston, how can lettuce be a poison? It's just a vegetable. And you're right, iceberg lettuce isn't toxic like a chemical. But for a senior over 65, it acts as a silent saboteur through something researchers call the nutrient displacement effect. Here is the reality. Iceberg lettuce is approximately 96% water. It has almost zero meaningful amounts of vitamin K, very little folate, and virtually no magnesium or potassium. I see this all the time. A patient tells me, Dr. Halston, I'm doing so well. I eat a big salad every single night before dinner. They are making a massive effort to stay healthy. But because they are filling their stomach with water-filled iceberg lettuce, they are missing the opportunity to eat the real medicine their body desperately needs. They are literally starving their arteries while feeling full. Why does this matter so much for your blood vessels? It comes down to a specific nutrient called vitamin K1. Think of vitamin K like a traffic controller for calcium in your body. When you have enough vitamin K, it directs calcium into your bones where it belongs, keeping your skeleton strong. But when you are deficient, because you're filling up on empty lettuce, that calcium has nowhere to go. It begins to settle inside your arteries instead. When calcium builds up in your artery walls, it's like your blood vessels are turning into stone. They become stiff, hard, and crunchy. This is what we call arterial calcification. Imagine trying to build a brick wall, but you forgot the mortar. The wall might look okay from a distance, but it's weak and can't handle any pressure. That's what happens to your circulatory system when you lack the nutrients found in dark greens. Your heart has to work harder, your blood pressure climbs, and the circulation to your feet, which are already at the end of the delivery route, begins to fail. This is why I see so many seniors who eat healthy salads, but still suffer from cold feet, nighttime leg cramps, and a loss of balance. Their body is crying out for real nutrition, but they keep giving it a bowl of water. I want you to make the dark, leafy swap. The next time you are at the grocery store, I want you to walk right past the iceberg lettuce. Instead, reach for kale, spinach, or arugula. Just 1 cup of kale contains over 7 times the daily requirement of vitamin K. That one swap alone can start the process of guiding calcium out of your arteries and back into your bones. If the leaves feel too tough, here's a doctor's tip. Massage them with a little olive oil for 2 minutes. It breaks down the fibers and makes them much easier for your senior digestive system to handle. If you're ready to stop filling up on empty calories and start feeding your arteries the gold they need, go to the comments and type real greens. We have reached the final poison on our list, and in many ways, this is the most deceptive of them all. I'm talking about artificial sweeteners and sugar-free processed health foods. I see this heartbreaking scenario every week. A patient comes in who has been told he's pre-diabetic or that his blood pressure is too high. He wants to do the right thing, so he goes to the store and fills his cart with diet sodas, sugar-free cookies, and low-fat yogurt. He thinks he's found a loophole, but your body is much smarter than the marketing labels. When you consume artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose, they don't just pass through you harmlessly. Recent research suggests that these chemicals can disrupt your gut microbiota, the trillions of beneficial bacteria in your intestines. This matters because those bacteria play a massive role in how you metabolize glucose. When they are out of balance, it can actually lead to increased insulin resistance. Even worse is the low-fat trap. When food companies remove fat, they usually pump the product full of sugar or refined flours to make it taste good. These healthy snacks cause a massive tsunami of glucose to hit your bloodstream. For a senior over 65, this high blood sugar acts like a silent acid. I want you to remember this analogy: the corroded electrical wire. Think of your nerves and the tiny blood vessels that feed them like electrical wires in your home. Every wire has a protective plastic coating. When your blood sugar is constantly spiked by hidden sugars, it's like pouring acid over those wires. Slowly, that acid eats through the coating. This is why you feel that pins and needles tingling or that burning sensation in your feet at night. In your kidneys and your arteries, this excess sugar causes a process called caramelization. Just like sugar turns hard and sticky when heated in a pan, chronic high blood sugar makes your delicate kidney filters and your arterial walls rigid, sticky, and brittle. This is the fastest route to dialysis and a major reason seniors lose their ability to walk freely. I want you to adopt the protein buffer technique. Never eat a snack naked. If you have a piece of fruit or a small treat, eat a source of protein first, like a hard-boiled egg or some walnuts. Protein acts like a traffic controller in your stomach, slowing down the absorption of sugar and preventing that acid spike that destroys your nerves and stiffens your arteries. And for your coffee, drink it plain. If you must sweeten it, use a tiny bit of natural stevia, but avoid the chemical packets. If you're ready to stop being fooled by diet labels and start protecting your wires, go to the comments and type "no masking." We have covered a lot of ground today. We've unmasked the 4 silent poisons, corn and seed oils that fan inflammation, canned vegetables that attack with BPA and sodium, iceberg lettuce that displaces real nutrients, and artificial sweeteners that caramelize your filters. I know this might feel overwhelming. You might be looking at your pantry and thinking, "Dr. Halston, what is left for me to eat?" But I want to leave you with a message of hope. Your body has a remarkable ability to heal and adapt, no matter if you are 65, 75, or 85. Health doesn't live in the pharmacy. It lives in the small, quiet decisions you make at your kitchen table every single day. To stay stronger, I want you to follow the protection triad. First, smart movement, a 20 to 30-minute walk every day. It's like waves of clean water washing through your pipes. Second, real greens. Swap iceberg lettuce for kale and spinach. Third, the protein buffer. Always pair your carbs with protein. You have worked hard for your life and your independence. You deserve to spend these years walking where you want to walk, seeing who you want to see, and standing on your own 2 feet with confidence. Don't let these healthy illusions take that away from you. Tonight, before you go to bed, do that 30-second check of your feet. Look for the signs we talked about. And tomorrow morning, start fresh. Choose the olive oil. Choose the fresh greens. Choose you. If you found this information life-changing, please share this video with someone you love. A spouse, a sibling, or a neighbor. You might be giving them the information they didn't even know they needed to save their health. And if you want more honest, practical health conversations for life after 60, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. I post a new video every week specifically for this community. I am Dr. Victor Halston. Stay aware, stay proactive, and take care of your heart and your home. I'll see you in the next one.